Fine. So small topic I will explain. First, file upload I will explain. Uh, Now, what do you understand by file upload? What do we mean when we say file upload? Or where do we need the file upload functionality?
Submitting few documents.
So like something document we need to upload in some website or like that.
Right? So let's say we are talking about a user employee. So employee should be able to upload his image, right? Let's say we want him to allow to upload his PAN card, Aadhaar card, like that. So wherever we need to upload some particular image, PDF or something, so we have to allow user to select the file and he should upload the file also. So file upload is again nothing but an API. Okay. Just like post API, put API, delete API, it is another API. So when we say file upload, so it is just a post API. Normally it is post API only. But along with just like in post API, we pass the object. But here we have to pass the physical file. Okay. So for sending the physical file, we have to select the file. Let's say if I select this file and let me clear it first. So we select any particular file and once I execute, that file gets uploaded to the server and in response, I get the file name. So, okay. So this was the actual file name what we uploaded. Sorry, our file name was something else. There it was. See, green neon something was our file name. But once we uploaded, in return, we got something different file name. So this is system generated file name. Means when we upload a particular file, that file gets stored into a server, specific folder. And when we upload on the API side, each file will have some unique name. So that unique file name, we get it in the response. And this way actually stored in a employee object, in employee logo or somewhere. I think in this the post employee. See, uploaded profile photo URL. So over here we need to provide the whatever the file name we get, and then we save that employee. Like that in every application, we have a different file upload API. In some application, we have the API where post API is there, where we will pass the employee data also and the file also. But very few scenarios will be there where you have the single API where you upload the data also and the file also. Okay, means normally we have a different file upload API across your project wherever you need the file upload thing. So you have only one API which will help you to upload the file. In response, you get the file name and that file name you store it into your object and then you save it. Okay. So now how do we do the file upload? Hmm, the same our project where we can do it. Let's create a new component. Ng generate component file upload. Okay. So this is nothing but our post API, but this API need what kind of data? So file data, binary data. Okay. So for that, what we need to do? So in HTML, first we need the input type file. Okay. And over here, we are going to make the API call in our .ts. So again, to make the API call, constructor, round bracket, curly bracket, private HTTP colon HTTP client. Again, you can put this in a service call also, doesn't matter because it's just a normal API call, nothing else. On upload on file change. Now this function we are going to call once you change the file. So your change event, you will call it over here. Okay. And here you will pass the whole object, whatever the file you selected. Okay. Event, you will get it over here. Okay. So now we need, whenever we have to upload the file, see, if it was a normal post API where you have the form, so you create an object and that object you bind to your form. And then that object you pass it as a parameter to your API. But in case of file, you need to create a form data. Okay. So constant form data is equal to new form data like this. And then in form data, you need to append your file. So how do you get the file? So in event dot target dot file or something else. Wait, let me search. I also forgot. File. Form data. Okay, like this. Okay. It's like you are creating a form. Form data is also kind of what we can say object, which basically deals with your form. Okay. See. But inside that you are adding a one more property that is file and you will be passing the event.target.file. Event.target.files of 0 because we can upload multiple files also. So just because of that array of single file. Here you got the, here you have created a form and inside that form, it's like object you can say. And inside that form, you have appended your file and then normal your API call. So this dot HTTP dot post your URL. This is your URL. And along your URL, you need to pass the form data, means nothing but your object. Then dot subscribe. Okay, let's see. File we choose. Let's say I choose this STL Technologies 2. This is the actual file name, physical file name STL hyphen Technologies 2. Open. How come we got this update? That something changed. How we got this? This is something new we are getting when we use input type file. Just use input type file, na? How come we are getting all this? How come you are getting this pending everything? P file upload. We didn't use any prime ng, right? It's just input type file. This UI is coming from C file upload, P file upload. Something is wrong. From where we are getting this UI? P file upload, but our selector name is app file upload. Strange. Inline editing. Let's try to render this component into another component. I'm not getting app inline editing. Inside that we added the selector, but why it is not coming now? Let me stop the project and run it again. Go to 00. How come you are getting this UI? It should be normal input type file, but it is loading this P file upload from Angular, that prime ng. Input type file is there. File upload.ts. Change event is also not triggering. Input type file, change event.
सर
This is
append की वजह से हो रहा है
function is not getting called. No, it's a normal change event. Once I change the file, my function should get trigger. Why this function is not getting called? Okay, here it is coming normal, but why it is coming like this over here? See, if I visit the same component, I'm getting this UI. And if I render this file component in land editing, it's a normal text file picker I'm getting. This is the normal UI. From where I'm getting this? Let it be. Let's try over here. Okay, same component I have rendered in this another component. Okay. Now once I choose the file, my change event which should trigger. See, my change event got triggered. Now, if you check the event, what do we get in target? What is the event.target? What do we get in event.target? First of all, what is this event? When we,
file upload
no. Whenever we pass dollar event, what do we get over here? Multiple places I have explained, na? What do we get over here?
object
Event object. Okay. So here we get the event object, change event object, and inside that target means from which element this event got triggered. Okay. So if I say event.target, see that element will highlight. Got it? Then files. So currently we have just selected one file. So files will have the array. So currently we just have selected one file. So see, whatever the file we selected, its name, size, type, everything we are getting. And from that, it's an array. So we get first file. And then we are uploading. Okay. Once I continue, see my file upload API is there. File upload got successfully. And if you check the response, this is the unique file name what you got. Okay. Now this file got uploaded to the server folder. in my wherever I have deployed my API, there uploaded file folder is there. There I have uploaded this file. Okay. Now, if I want to show this uploaded file, so let's say here we have the employee create API now. Let's try to create the employee. Some data I'm passing. So whatever the file name we got, that file name we need to pass along with the profile photo URL over here. So this is the uploaded file name which I'm passing. File upload thing is done. So what our scenario is, normally we upload the file, we get that file name up in the response, and that file name we pass it to our object, and then we actually create our record, whatever the record. Okay, on click of execute, what Aadhaar card or PAN card is allowed. Where it is, the verification document name. So see the error. In verification document name, only Aadhaar card or PAN card is allowed. So I need to pass Aadhaar card or PAN card allowed. Means in this particular property from API side, they are expecting only two field, either Aadhaar card or PAN card. That's why we are getting the error. Execute. Insert statement foreign key. Okay, somewhere foreign key is required. Where is department ID and the designation ID? Let's pass this. Where is the department ID? Master. Department ID, let's say 8. Designation ID 11. Okay, execute. Fine. So employee got created successfully. But while creating employee, whatever the file name, uploaded file name I got, that I have sent over here. Okay. Now if I want to show this file name, right? Let's say we open this particular employee, so we have to show the uploaded file or that employee logo somewhere or profile photo URL somewhere, right? So this is the file name which we will get. So this is the employee ID, right? Let's say if we have a open page or somewhere, so we open the particular employee by passing the ID. So this is the get API ID where we need to pass the employee ID. In response, we will get the whole employee object. Here also we got the file name what we pass. And now if we have to show this, so our URL should be, let me get the URL, free API, sorry, motto. This is where I have actually uploaded my APIs. So over there, uploaded file name slash, our file name is this. See, on this particular location, this is my server. Okay, on this server, I have uploaded my API project. In my API project, I have a folder that is uploaded file. In this folder, I have uploaded my whatever the files you have, and this is your file name. So this URL, you can use it in your SRC tag. Image SRC. This will be your URL. See, your whatever you have uploaded, that file is coming over here. So consider you have a scenario where you have an employee form first, and inside that employee form, you have a file picker also. You upload a file, you get the file name, and that file name you append to your object inside that particular property, whatever the file name. In our case, it was profile photo URL. So you created the employee with the uploaded file name. And once you open, you get this response. So in employee object, you store this whole response. So then in your image tag, employee object dot profile photo URL, you will add it over here. Here I have added the static URL, but instead of that, employee object dot photo file photo URL, whatever the property name you have. So that's why you show the uploaded file name. Got it? So this is your file upload. So whatever the file we uploaded, that file we are able to show it into the image tag also. Understood? So it's just a normal file API. This is the only thing, form data we need to create. And inside that form data, by using the dollar event, from particular target, we need to select the particular file. That's it. This is the only thing which might be new to you. Otherwise, it is just a normal API call. And again, this API call, either you put it into your component or your service, same thing. You just need to pass this form data object. That's it.
So every
Clear?
time we need to
Hmm?
create a form data object.
Yeah, in case of file upload API, every time we need to create the form data. Normal object we cannot pass. Whenever we have a file upload API, it needs the binary data, particular file. So that's why we have to create the form data. And inside form data in file, you will upload a specific file.
Okay.
Okay,
Sir, can
clear?
you just share this Swagger
Yeah,
so
Swagger is new to you now.
we can practice?
Okay, in that file upload is a different altogether API over here. Okay,
Okay.
so clear everyone? This is the only new thing we have when we talk about file upload.
Yes.
Okay,
Hello, sir.
yeah,
So regarding sir that a dollar event, you said like what this function having like every event object
yes,
which contain, right?
yes.
So could you
Event
please
data,
explain?
change event, right? So change event data. In case of output, if we are passing some data from the child component to parent component, again, to receive that data, we write the event. So whatever the data we pass from the child component to the parent component, that we get it over here. Event data, we write it over here. It's not from Angular. It is a plain HTML thing. This is not something which we have in Angular. It is from your normal HTML. Whenever we need the event data, whatever the event, we have it over here. If you need the whole event data, so you write it like this, and then you catch it over here in your function.
Okay, got
Okay.
it, sir.
Yep. Now next thing is bulk upload. Okay, same component I will use. Now in our project API, normally bulk upload. What do we mean by bulk upload?
Like multiple files selected and it should be stored something in
Multiple
destination.
files. So file upload we have already seen. Let's not talk about a file. Bulk upload. What will be meaning by bulk upload?
Same kind of data we need to insert like multiple record at the
Multiple
same time.
record. We will be normally when we do the CRUD operation, at a time only one record we create. Correct? Yes or no? In post API,
Yes.
let's say
Yes, sir.
we have this post API. Only one object we are able to send. At a time only one employee we can create. But let's say
Yes.
your object doesn't have so many fields. Let's say if we talk about this role, how many things we have? Just the role ID, right? If we see the designation, what do we have? Only one field. So if we go with the normal approach, you just have a single text box and you keep on adding multiple time. You open the form, you fill it, say one more API call if there. Again, you need to add, again you change on click of, so again you need to do the one API call, right? When you have very few fields, 3 or 4 fields, and it is like kind of a master data like this designation, city, state, you don't want to do it again and again. So in one go you can add multiple cities, multiple state, multiple roles, and on click of save, all the data should get saved. In a single post API, you will store multiple data, so that is nothing but your bulk upload. Okay, again this is API call only. So if you see this API, what object this API need, what kind of data this API needs?
Array of objects.
Array of
Array of
object, because this is bulk upload. So at a time we can pass multiple roles. Got it? If you see the designation here also multiple data of designation. Okay. But if you check the post API add employee to the client, here we have the single object because only one record we can save at the particular time. Okay. So understood the difference between single API and the bulk upload? In single API, you will have the single object. In case of bulk upload, you will have the array. Clear? Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
In that case, role ID will we are passing for all object as 0.
Yeah, obviously, no, that is a primary key. Just like this one object was there, just like that comma separated, multiple object will be there. But role ID is your primary key, right? So when you are
Mm-hmm.
creating new record, you don't know the role ID, na? In normal post API also, primary key you send it as a zero only. So here also zero only.
Okay.
Instead of single object, you are passing multiple object. That's it. Okay. So now how do we do
Sir,
that?
what about documents if we need to
Same API file upload.
fetch more documents?
See
Okay, means we
over
create one API and in that we
select
fetch the
multiple files.
documents.
See multiple file. Now we have to upload. Allow it also. Now where we have that. So here we have this select na. Okay, multipart 2 or something we need to add. Multiple. Okay. See, now we are able to select the multiple file. Okay. But now in your function, here what we have selected first file only. Now instead of this, you need to send the whole files when you have to upload the multiple file. Got it? In your file upload,
Yes,
if you
sir.
want to upload multiple file, this tag should be there. And when you write the upload, instead of selecting one file, you need to send all the files selected. Clear? Upload. This is file upload. And what bulk upload is like? Just normal CRUD operation. Okay? Clear now? Okay. Now, how do we do the bulk upload? So for bulk upload, we need to integrate our get API also and the post API also. So let's say get all role. This is our get API. Let's first integrate this. Let me run the project on our 4208. We need table, T head, TR, TH, role. Let's say serial number. Currently, we just have role name only, right? Role. Primary key we don't showcase. T body, TR, TD. Okay. Table, table. Modern. So first, this API call we need to integrate. So copy in our .ts. On the page load, we will do it. So implements on init, ng on init, this dot http dot get whatever the data we get, that we need to store it also somewhere. Role list colon any of array is equal to empty. Okay. Here we will store the data. So this dot role list is equal to result dot data. Okay. And this we will iterate over here. At the rate for loop, role list. Okay. Now here we need to show the index first. So dollar index +1. Now here, instead of interpolating row item dot role ID, we are going to have a text box over here. Because at a time, instead of creating the form, in the table only we will be adding the record. Okay. And that we call as the inline editing. In the table only we will have our form. So square bracket, round bracket, ng model. Now, here we didn't create any object, role object or something, we don't have it. But in the item, from our item dot role name we have to bind. Role property we have to bind it over here. Okay. Forms module we need. So see now what happens. What we have done on the page load, we have done the API call. We got the roles list over here that we are iterating over here. But here, instead of showing the interpolation, we have created a input text box with the ng model item dot role name. Normally we do like this, right? But now what we have done, this instead of showing it in the interpolation, we have binded that particular property from our object to our input text box by using ng model. So see now. Let me remove this image tag. 208. See, in our API, how many roles we have? 4 roles. So you can see our table got created with the text box with whatever the value we have. See, junior, team, manager, and the string. Same data we are able to see it over here. Now we need a button also over here, add, because multiple at one time we should be able to add multiple record. So we need a button at the top. Okay, so let's add a button for add new. On click of add new, what should we do? On click of add new, what should happen? See this UI,
This
on click of add new, what should happen?
Insert one row
With
along with
empty record,
new
right?
index empty record. Yes.
A new empty record should get added with empty text box. Now this is iterating on the for loop. So if we have to add one more row, what we have to do? What we have to do? On click of add new, in this table we need to add one more row. So what we need to do?
Dynamic.
But what we need to do? On click of add new, one row should be added in this table. So what we need to do for that?
Push array dot push.
Right? Array, na? This is array. So we have to push it. Okay. Click add new. Okay. Now we need at the top. So how do we add the element at the top? How do we add the element at the top? In array. This is the object we need, right? So let's copy it. But role ID should be 0 and role name should be empty. Okay. So this object we need to push to our array. So that only in table it will come, na? So this dot role list, and I need the record, new record at the top. So what I use? Which method I should use? Unship, because push will add a record at the end. See now. Saved. See, getting it? On click of add new, we are adding empty record. So that's why we are getting the empty text box. If I add something over here, see, it will render with that because we are simply pushing an object, right? Now on click of add new, we are getting multiple files added. Now we just need the save API call on save roles. HTTP post API call. What's our API call? Add update bulk upload. This is our method name. So this method name will go over here. Now tell me, what do we pass over here to the post API? What do we pass? Whole array, na? Right? So whole array you will pass as an object. And this function you will call on another button. Save bulk data. And this function you will call it over there. Because this API needed an array. So we are passing one. Okay. But currently we have 4 roles. Okay. Now if I click on add, let's say senior software engineer, senior way lead. Okay. Now if you see the API called data, file upload, on click of save, if you check the role list, see two new record which we added has role ID 0 and these are the existing one. Understood? These are the two new role we are added where role ID is 0. Whole array we are passing. Continue. 200. Okay. And response. Okay. In response, I'm not sending. Let's reload now. See, senior software engineer, senior QA lead. I can use the same API for upload also. See, this string record is there. Let's say uh, DevOps manager. Save upload. Same API we have used for upload also. Whole table data you are passing as a parameter to your object. This is your bulk upload. With single API, you are creating the new record also and updating the existing record also. Whatever the data you pass, that will be, if ID is there, it will be updated. Otherwise, it will be created. Okay. Let me start another meeting. So understood, this is nothing but your bulk upload. Again, it's just an API call. Instead of sending one object, you are passing the whole array. Okay. And the new thing might be this inline editing. Normally in ng model, what do we pass? A variable. But here what we have passed? Particular field from particular object. So when you actually change the text box value, that text box value gets stored into that particular object, particular property name. Same way how it was behaving in the normal variable. When we change the text box value, that text box value get set into that variable. But now here instead of variable, we are binding particular field from this particular object. Let me print this also. One more TD I will create. And here I will print the whole item with our JSON pipe. See now what actually happens when we upload. See over here. This is the existing object. If I change something, see it is changing over here also. So that's what happens with your normal variable, right? Same thing is happening with your item object in the for loop. Okay. This is also nothing but called as a inline editing. In the table only you have the CRUD operation. Clear? Understood? Bulk upload. This is a simple API only, but this simple one more logic is there where in the table only we have the editable text box instead of printing the value. And on click of add, we just add empty records, multiple. We say we add whatever the records we need to add, and on a single save, we pass the whole array as an object to the post API. That is bulk upload. Clear?
Yes.
Anyone having any doubt? So file upload and bulk upload, this is not any topic. These are just normal API call only. Okay. Again, with file upload, there are multiple variation. We have to add the validations, file size, file type. So when we select the file, we get every data over here in input type file. So like that, we add if else check. In some project, we have to add maximum 1 MB file. Somewhere we have maximum 50 MB. So we add that. Somewhere we have to allow only JPG or a PNG or something. Somewhere we only have to allow Excel file or PDF file. So we add that check like that because here we get the whole file data. So there you add the size check and the type check. Okay. Clear all?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then what was the topic we said?
सर
Hmm. Go
सपोज
ahead.
मेरे पास एक्सेल है
Hmm.
और वहाँ पे रोल और 2 कॉलम है, तो वो अपलोड करना है मुझे। हुआ है।
एक पूरी एक्सेल अपलोड करोगे ना, जैसे अपन यहाँ पे
हाँ
एक
तो
फाइल अपलोड करें वैसे पूरी एक्सेल फाइल अपलोड करोगे।
ओके, तो वो पेज
मतलब
कर लेगा मतलब वहाँ
नहीं
पे
नहीं नहीं,
कॉलम
तुम
में PDF।
तुम दोनों मिक्स कर रहे हो क्या, ये और फाइल अपलोड?
ओके, वो टोटल डिफरेंट है।
फाइल अपलोड अलग चीज है, राइट? तुम क्या बोल रहे हो कि यहाँ पे जैसे मैं मैन्युअली एक एक डाल रहा हूँ, उसके जगह तुम्हारे
हाँ
पास एक्सेल है और वो एक्सेल अपलोड कर दो और रोल्स क्रिएट हो जाए, राइट?
यस।
उसके लिए एपीआई वैसी चाहिए। अगेन इट्स एपीआई कॉल ओनली। वो भी एक टाइप का बल्क अपलोड है। इंस्टेड ऑफ मैन्युअली क्रिएटिंग इट, यू अपलोड द एक्सेल एंड excel will have this roll column. So API will read that roll column and it will create the record. Okay. So that you can say that it's a combination of file upload and bulk upload also. Instead of manually creating the data, you are uploading an Excel, and whatever the data you have in Excel, that should get created. Okay.
यस।
But you need an API like that. So you upload a file.
ओके,
That's it. From our side, what we do, we upload a file. Then API people will read that file and then it will insert the data into the table.
मतलब
Clear?
टोटली हैंडल बाय बैकएंड डेवलपर।
Backend developer. See, when as a UI developer, what do we have? We can only do the API call integration. That's it. Everything is on the API side. Very less work come in the UI side. Okay. Clear all? Her question got clear na to everyone? What was her question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Instead of manually adding it, what if we upload a Excel file where we have the role list, right? See, let's say 50 roles you need to add. So adding 50 role is not a good thing, na? Let's say you already have role in your Excel. So why to again add and manually fill the data? You can directly upload the file Excel and it should create that many roles. But you need a API like that. Again, it will be just a normal file upload API. Fine? Clear everyone? Okay. So now we will move back to our project folder. There I will explain ng content. Mm. Again, this won't be asked to everyone, just above 6 or 7 plus ng content gets asked. Okay. When we saw the reusable component, what things we have seen in reusable component? What things we have seen in reusable component?
तो बटन वी कैन यूज
Button we can create, right? This
और
was the reusable component we have created, right? Now I will create one more type of button. In this button, what is happening? I have a button tag, right? I can make the dynamic class. So if button type is primary, I'm adding this class. More normally if else class is there. And I get the button text. Okay. Let's run this first. See this button. Okay, this is normal button. Where we are using that button client list. This is your normal button. Instead of using this normal button, we will use our button component. Hyphen my button, and this button has a 2 input. Let me show you the input also. How many inputs we have? Button text and the button type. Okay. So button text is equal to string value. So that is add. And then we need the button type. What button types are allowed? Primary. Okay. Let's pass the primary value. Client list. Save. Input is added. Why we are, yeah. But why we are getting success? Okay. If it is primary, again, it is success only. Okay. So we got the blue button. So this is our reusable button component. But in, let's say, whenever first rule of creating something reusable, right? Everything should be configurable. First rule of reusable, whenever you are creating something reusable, nothing should be static. Okay. Now consider like in your project, you have created a reusable component for your button. Now in this component, let's say you don't need just the text, you need some icon also over here. Okay. In this particular component, you just don't need normal button. You need some icon also over here. Normally we have na button with icons. But now our component is not like that. We cannot pass some icon because what do we have it over here? Just a text, right? Can we show some icon over here? We have not created our button component like that. Only text can be shown. Understood this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
But
sir.
we want users like whatever our employees are there, right? We want to create a reusable button like that they should have a control like what sometimes they can just show the text, sometimes they can show the icon plus text also. Okay. So here we can use ng content. Okay. Now I'm creating one more reusable component. Ng generate component dynamic button. Okay. One more component I'm creating. Now in this component HTML, what I will have? Just the button. Okay. We will have one input that will be, let's say, class name. In previous component, we have passed the button type, and by using if else, we were adding dynamic class. But here I'm allowing you to directly pass the class name. Okay. Whatever the class name you pass, that I will add it over here. First, button will be our static class, right? Then we need to add a dynamic class. So ng class we need to add. And here we will use our ng class, square bracket ng class. Whatever the class name you pass over here as an input, that will get added over here. So btn primary, btn success, btn danger, whatever the class name, you have to add it over here. Let's use this class. Let's use this button over here. Dynamic button. Okay. Now here, this is my earlier button where I was able to pass the button text. Now this new button component only has a one property, that is class name. Okay. So let's pass that. btn hyphen danger. Now this button component doesn't have an input where I can pass the button text. Okay. But now over here, what I can do inside this button selector, I will use ng content. Okay. ng content I'm adding in between the selector of the button. Now in between of the selector in parent component here. Okay. Save, what do we say? Add new client. In my reusable component, what I have added inside the button selector, I have added ng content. And where I'm using that button component, in between the selector of this button component, I'm writing add new client. So see now what happens. See, add new client is getting rendered inside the button. Let's inspect it also. See, in your button, you got the text. Okay. Now let's say you need the icon. So here only from the parent only, here you will pass the icon. Icon, let's say user. Do we have font awesome? I think yes. See, now icon is also coming and text is also coming. Now you have control, right? Understood now? So you have the proper control. What you need, whatever you pass from the parent component in the component selector, whatever you pass over here, that gets rendered over here in ng content. Understood? So If your reusable component is like that, in that reusable component, you have some ng content over here. Now, when you render that component over here, whatever you pass in between the selector of that component, that will get rendered over here. That's because of ng content. Okay. It's like allowing you to load the dynamic HTML. Whatever the HTML you write it over here, whole this HTML code will get rendered over here. Clear? ng content. Okay. So understand the difference between both of these component, button component. Here we were able to pass the actually text box. Let's say this component also we can convert to show the icon. But again, we need to add one more input. Again, we need to add at the rate if else and all, because it should be configurable, right? If we don't need the icon, again, we have to add the at the rate if that another input, let's say one more input we created, icon class name or something. So again, we need to add at the rate if icon class name is not empty, then we will load the icon with the whatever the class name we pass, right? In over here also we can do the same thing, but more proper way will be by using ng content. So we don't have to write any if else and we don't need any input also. Whatever user provide over here in between selector, everything will get rendered over here in ng content. Clear?
तो नेक्स्ट पेज पे मैं सेम ये बटन यूज करूँ रियूजेबल का, तो मैं वहाँ पे डिफरेंट आइकॉन और
हाँ,
डिफरेंट टेक्स्ट बुक
see, in client list we have done. Let's say if we go to the employee list. App dynamic. Class name, btn warning. Okay. Now here I just need the text. I don't need any icon. Add new employee. See, add new employee. Only text is coming. Got it? That's the reusable. Now, if you create it one time, multiple places you can use. So in client list, we are using this button, but while using inside the selector, we have the icon and the text. So it is rendering that. In employee, we just have a text. So it is rendering text only. Clear?
Yes.
So that is ng content. Again, it get asked only if you have more than 6. Again, that is also rare chances that they might ask, because again, so many things are there. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So we can create two types of reusable button component like this. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो
Okay.
ये कंटेंट हम लोग लाइक अदर थिंग जैसे अलर्ट इसके लिए भी यूज कर सकते हैं
हाँ,
क्या?
अलर्ट हो गया, हर जगह यूज
ओ
कर सकते हो। जहाँ पे भी आपको HTML पास करने की जरूरत है, वहां पे आप ऐसा यूज
हाँ
कर सकते हो। Okay. What else we decided to see? Compute signal, na? Signal. Basic signal we have seen, na?
No, sir.
Basic signal we have not seen?
No, sir.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, so we have not signal. Or in the project also we have not seen?
No, sir.
Yes.
No, in the project we have seen, na, employee list, while loader.
No, sir.
What no? See,
So
na,
we not use for signal. So I don't know like how this
like
thing.
loader we have explained somewhere. Table loader I have explained, right? Means not detail, but I remember like somewhere we have used signal. Some days back we have explained like how do we show the loader, right? So instead of normal variable, you can create a signal also. Anyway, let's start it again. So in practice project, I'm creating the component. ng generate component signal. Just a minute. Okay. Now from Angular 17, we have got this signal. Now till now in Angular, how do we create, how do we store the data? How do we store the data till now? Let's say if I told you ki we have to store some data, how you will store the data in Angular? What are the various ways by which you can store the data in Angular?
In variables, observables,
Variable, observable, again,
subject.
subject or behavior subject, nothing but observable. Again, where we can store? Local storage, session storage, cookies, that is also way na, to store the data. It is not related with Angular, but if your project is in Angular, there also you can store the data, correct? Yes
Yes,
or
sir.
no? Okay.
Yes,
Just like that, from Angular 17, we got something new, that is signal. I think 16, from 16 only we got the signal. Okay. This was your normal data. This was your normal variable, how we store the data. Now, just like that, we have got signal. Okay. Let's say just a minute, zoom in. Course name colon data type string is equal to Angular. This is your normal variable. Okay. Let's print this also. This is how you print. And it get printed also over here. How do we change the normal variable value?
using in constructor this dot.
This dot, your variable name and your new value. Okay. Let's say in set timeout, I will change it. What's the use of set timeout?
After some delay, that some particular value will
We
display.
want to execute this piece of code after some time. Okay, because constructor gets on the page load only. But if I change directly in the constructor, we won't be able to see the Angular, right? So we want to show the Angular for some time, and after 5 seconds, we need to change the variable value. Angular is there, after 5 seconds, it will change to the React.js. Okay. So this is how we change the this is how you create a normal variable. This is how you change the variable value. This is how you access the variable. Just like this, we have one more way, which is signal. Okay. Course duration is equal to signal. Okay. What type of data you are going to store? So string type of data. And then round bracket. And here, what this need? What it need?
Initial value.
Initial value.
Value.
Means whatever the basic value you want to initialize. You want to initialize this signal with what value? Okay. Months. Fine. So this is how you create a signal. This is your normal variable, and this is how you create a signal. Again, data type like same, no? Whatever string, number, integer, array, object, same thing you do it over here. This is how you initialize the default value. This is how you initialize the default value. Okay. Now, how do you access the signal? Normal variable you can access directly, but signal get access as a method. So if you write like this, it will show you the error. Saying course name is a function. Is it a function? Is this a function? No, no, it's a normal variable. But here it is saying course name is a function and should be invoked like this. So whenever you create a signal, how do you access a signal? Like a method. Okay. See, 3 months it is printing. Getting it? So normal variable you can directly access with the variable name. But if it is a signal we access as a method. Understood? This is how we access a signal as a method. Okay. Now, how do we change the signal? We cannot use equal to sign on the signal. So this dot course duration dot set method. Okay. We have to use the set method. 2 months and 2 weeks. So initially this signal has 3 months value. After 5 seconds, I'm changing the signal value with 2 months and 2 weeks. See now. Initially it is 3 months. After 5 seconds, it will change to different value. Understood? So this
Yes,
is how
sir.
you create a signal. This is how you access a signal. This is how you change the signal. Again, if you want to read the signal value in .ts also, again, same thing. This dot course duration as a method only. Okay. Here also you access as a method. Here also you access as a method. This is how you access the signal value as a method. Understood? Let's add a
Yes,
debugger
sir.
and see this also. See, I got the signal value 3 months. Understood? Just like how you create the data, how you store the data into your normal variable, subject, behavior subject, of operator, from operator, right? Just like that, one more way is there to store the data, that is by using signal. Understood?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now there
Sir,
is a
but
yeah,
just
go ahead.
a minute. बट ये लाइक हम लोग वेरिएबल नॉर्मल वे से डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं बट सिग्नल्स के मतलब
सिंटैक्स है
बाय
ना, अब वो सिंटैक्स है।
मतलब एनी बेनिफिट्स फॉर यूजिंग सिग्नल्स
हाँ, बताता हूँ मैं। ओके।
ओके
अब एंगुलर in Angular, we have something chain detection. What is chain detection in Angular? What is chain detection in Angular? अरे एंगुलर खत्म हो गया हमारा। चेन डिटेक्शन क्या है? What is chain detection? When we say this is chain detection, see, on the initial load, this variable has angular value, this signal has 3 months value, and after 5 seconds, I'm changing some value. Okay. Once that variable value get changed, your UI also get updated, right? This is nothing but chain detection. Whenever any change happen, your DOM gets updated, means your component HTML gets updated. That is nothing but chain detection. Clear? What is chain detection in Angular? Whenever there is a change in your .ts, your variable value get changed. If that variable you are using in HTML file, so that HTML file will show the updated value. That is happening because of chain detection. Okay, clear? Chain detection.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, how Angular does this chain detection? So in Angular, we have a library that is zone.js. So now in Angular 20, when you create the project, you get a question like, do you need to create a zoneless application? Right? So zone.js is the third party library, which allows you to manage the chain detection. Okay. So Angular team is slowly getting rid of that zone.js. Okay. So without the, how do we see? How does chain detection work? Internally, it works because of zone.js. But we can disable that chain detection also. How do we disable that? So see, in component decorator, I'm adding chain detection. Okay. And chain detection strategy dot on push. So we have two types of strategy. Default means how it is working. Whenever you change the variable, value get changed. This is default. And on push means you are disabling the chain detection. Okay. Now I am commenting the signal value. So see now what happens. See properly. Okay. By default, this variable has an angular value. See, my set time got executed. This variable value is currently angular. Once this line run, variable value got changed, but it is not displaying over here. Still, it is showing angular only. Variable value got changed, na? But here it is not displaying the updated value. Why? Because we have disabled the chain detection. See, if I go with default, by default, it is default only. So no need to write, but I wanted to show you. Okay, currently it is angular. After 5 seconds, this will execute. See, variable value get changed. It got reflected over here also. Okay. But if I change this default to on push, angular it is there. Variable value I'm changing. Okay. Variable value got changed. Readjust. But still it is displaying the old value. So my UI is not showing me the or updating the new value. So because we have disabled the chain detection. Okay. Understood the chain detection and how we disable it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in case of normal variable, if your chain detect variable value get changed, it is not showing the updated value because we have disabled the chain detection. But if I updated the signal, see now I am uncommenting this signal change. See what happens. Normal variable value get changed. Signal value also get changed. See, now it is displaying the updated value. So when you update the signal, if there is a change in a signal, even if chain detection is disabled, still UI will reload again. So your variable value get changed in the UI also. This was not happening in
Sir,
case of
please
huh?
repeat this line.
Which
Please
line?
repeat this line. I mean, the two values are changed now. Why exactly?
Yeah, I'm saying that only. Okay. So when you change, if your component in your component you have disabled the chain detection. Okay. If your normal variable value get changed, your component won't show the updated value. We have seen that, right? But whenever your signal value get changed, or instead of doing this now, let's add one more set timeout. And after 10 seconds, we will change the signal value. In after 5 seconds, you are changing the normal variable. Okay. And after 10 seconds, you are changing the signal value. So see now. After first 5 seconds, I'm just changing the normal variable. Okay. See, angular to I'm changing it, but still it is not showing the latest value. After 7 seconds, I'm changing the signal value Immediately my UI got refreshed. Understood? So with the use of signal, now you don't need that zone.js. Whenever any signal value get changed, UI will automatically fetch the updated value. UI will reload. So that's the difference between your normal variable and your signal. If you disable the chain detection, normal variable value get changed, UI won't be able to update the variable value. But if your signal value get changed, UI will refresh and you will be able to see the new value. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So now Angular team is slowly trying to get rid of that zone.js. Okay? Because everything is going to move ahead with the signal. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So just how you create a normal variable, just like that, you can store the data into signal also. Signal doesn't need zone.js. Whenever there is a change in signal, UI will automatically reload. Only if you have disabled the chain detection. If you have not disabled the chain detection, obviously it will reload. Okay. Clear? Signal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if interview they've now still no one is using signal that much, but for interview they might be asking what is signal? What's the use of signal? So just like how do we store the data into your normal variable, how you store the data into your subject or behavior subject or of operator from operator, just like that, there is one more way how we store the data by using signal. Clear? How do we create a signal like this? How do we assign a signal? By using set method. How do we access a signal as a method? Clear?
Yeah.
Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So people might get confused with RxJS and signal. So interviewer also might get confused. They might also question like that, like is signal replacement of RxJS? Signal is not a replacement of RxJS. Okay. Signal is a different thing. RxJS is a totally different thing. Okay. Just how we used to store the data in subject and behavior subject, you can say like that. We have one more way also, but RxJS is something so many different thing, and signal is very limited. We can use signal just to store a value. Okay, so both are different things. Signal and RxJS has nothing to common. Fine. So we have seen three topics: file upload, bulk upload, ng content, and signal. File upload and bulk upload, it is API call only. Just how we do the API call integration is something different. Ng content, whenever in the component, in the selector of the component, whatever you pass, that gets rendered into the ng content. Okay, and this is your signal. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So I will be traveling to Pune. So 2 days we won't be able to connect. Once I'm back on Friday, in Friday evening we will. Saturday I will back. So Saturday evening we will connect. Okay. So two more topics in the signal we have: computed and that link signal. Both are related only. So that we will see, and the NGRX we will see, basic store implementation. What things you should know when you are appearing for the interview. Okay. So NGRX store implementation, how do we create action, reducer, that we will see. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.